my name is Tara Orlin and I am a horse trainer. In this session I'm going to show you how I teach a horse how to be ridden. This is a young horse who is in training here at the ranch and we have started to ride. So I'm going to show you the complete process of how I work with this. There are many ways to start a horse. My way is based on trust. I don't want the horse to freak out or get scared. I don't want any kind of rodeo. So I'm going to show you how I teach the horse this in a very safe, relaxing and calm way. All right, the first thing we are going to do is just warm up a little bit. I like to start with just lunging the horse around the arena. So we're going to start with that. And this horse, she's quite big and quite confident and quite tough. She's not easily scared, which is very nice. So in general, she's a very pleasant horse to work with. One thing with her is that she can be a little bit more, I don't want to say like a pushy type of horse, but not a very humble type of horse. She's a little bit more tough. And now she's just reacting a little bit to this camera thing. I'm just gonna let her check it out. But don't make it fall. No, it's okay. The reason I like to start with this type of lunging is to move all the way around the arena. For example, right now, she had a little reaction to that camera device. And it's nice to get that out of the way before I start to ride her. So I kind of get her used to everything before I get on. And of course, this is not her first day, so she has been in here before. But if you have a completely new horse in a new place, this is a great way to introduce the arena. Okay, we have taken one side. Good. So I train with treats. My method is kind of a mix between natural horsemanship and positive reinforcement. It's important to have some boundaries and that the horse understand that we are kind of in charge of the situation and they need to pay attention and they need to listen. But I also want the horse to enjoy and feel like I want the horse to kind of want to try and take initiative and be motivated and really search for, I want them to really try to do the right thing. So when you give treats, you help to motivate the horse to try. And they might enjoy the training a little bit extra. Another thing when the horse is getting treats or eating is that it can help the horse feel safe. So when the horse will eat, it's a relaxing thing for them. So it can definitely help the horse feel safe and relaxed and more easily trust. But of course it depends on how you use the treats and you also of course need some good training as well. So now I'm just guiding her around the opposite direction. Yep. And as I'm practicing this lunging, I can also practice her not pulling on the rein. And I want her to pay attention and kind of walk where I guide her. So she's very nice. You can see I don't really need to hold the rope that hard. She's pretty good at following and going where I'm guiding her. Good. So after we have kind of finished going all the way around on both sides, I usually start with some trot, and we usually work on this side of the arena, but since the camera is here right now, we're going to do on the opposite side. So I'm going to ask her to trot, and the important thing with this, practicing the different gaits when you are on the ground, is to teach the horse the vocal cue. Because when you get on the horse, they are going to be a little bit confused and not completely understand. But if you have the vocal cues working really well, it's going to be a lot easier for the horse to understand when they're going to trot and when they're going to canter. So I try first with only the vocal cue. And it's really, really hot today, so she might be a little extra lazy. But I want her to trot because of the vocal cue. And if she really does not trot, I can wave the rope. Then we're going to change directions. Move the hind, step out the other way. And when you give the vocal cue, I'm also adding some energy into that. Like, I really mean, when I make the sound, I really mean trot. I'm assertive in the way I'm giving the cue. And that is because she's a little bit more a lazy, a little bit more an arrogant type of horse. So you kind of need some energy to show her that you mean business, you know? If I make a very little energy cue, she may not care. If she were a very sensitive type of horse, I would use less energy. So you have to adapt your energy and the training to the horse that you're working with. Now I'm going to ask her to canter. Yeah. 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 If she doesn't listen to the cue, I'm going to use the rope. Yeah. 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 Bra. And it's the first time on this side of the arena, and there are many of these goddamn biting flies. Yeah. So she needed some extra time to go into the canter. Okay. But it's really, really warm also. Yes, I really love it, but you maybe don't. No. And the same, when I go into the canter, I really need to kind of use the energy for her to go into the canter. And we're going to do it both ways. And right now we haven't started to canter from horseback just yet, but I really want her to understand the vocal cue. So when we are going to start, she will understand. She's lifting the tail. Do you need to go take a dump? Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to practice on the other direction. Yes. We'll start with trot. And you can tell I'm making the sound and she's not really responding. And I'm really trying to kind of get her into trot without using the rope so much. Because when I'm sitting on her, I'm not going to be able to wave the rope in the same way. Yeah. 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 each time I feel like she's about to go into a trot, I add a vocal cue again to keep her going. So you need to bring up the energy a little bit to keep her cantering. She's kind of a little bit more a lazy type. So if I don't bring up my energy, she's not going to canter that well. Okay, now we're going to go this way first. So whenever I have a horse in training, I will always teach the horse the basic groundwork exercises, no matter what the horse is in training for. So a part of that is walking with the horse and leading the horse around. And you can actually practice a lot of things just by walking with the horse. So one thing you can do is practice transitions in speed. So I can ask her to walk a little bit more fast, and then I can walk more slow. So this is a great focus exercise. So you can go more fast again. If she's walking way too fast, you can just wave the rope a little bit. Good. And then stop. Back up. You backed up good, but it wasn't that straight. Better. Good. Yeah. I always give treats after I back up because I really want the backing up to be good. Backing up can be a little bit more challenging for the horse, so it's nice to get them as motivated as possible. She has some insect on her. There. Even inside here, the arena, we will get bothered with bugs. Okay. Another thing you can practice when you're just walking with the horse is moving the hind legs and the front legs. So I will walk and I will turn and ask the hind legs to step over a little bit. And she's a little bit lazy. And if she's not moving over that well, I can wave the rope a little bit. And then I'm going to turn and step in here. And move the front. Good. And if she's not moving that well, I will wave the rope. And I feel like in general today she's a little bit lazy in this weather. Yeah, not too bad. Take a little break and I will try again. If you want your treats, you gotta do a little bit better. No? So usually here she needs to move. Move, move. There you go. So I'm gonna bring in some more energy if she's not bothering to move. I'm gonna try again. There you go. Good. That's a lot better. Good. Then you will get treats. Good. So I will bring up the energy if I feel like she's not responding. I will give the horse a little time to respond, but if nothing is happening, I'm bringing up my energy to make the horse respond. And then we're going to do the other way. But yeah, I know, it's warm. Yes. It's lovely. So we're going to do exactly the same on this side. I'm first just checking that she's following me quite well. If I'm walking a little bit faster, I would like her to also speed up. I don't want to drag the horse with me. And then if I slow down, I would like her to slow down. And all of this needs to happen in a completely loose rope. I don't want any tension or weight on the rope. I want everything to happen because of her responding to my body language and my energy. Good. And if you work like this, you will teach the horse to focus and pay attention to what you are doing with your body. If you're just kind of dragging the horse with you, they don't have to focus or pay attention in the same way. And now I'm turning here, stepping in, checking if she can move the hind. And I don't want to pull her in the halter. I want her to just move her hind legs because I'm putting my energy towards her hind legs. Yeah. And then we're going to do the front. So I'm leaning in, pointing, adding some energy if she's not moving. Good. Good job. Not bad. No. Good. Good. All right. The next thing we're going to do, we're just going to turn this way. Good. Yeah, you can stay here. I'm going to check that she will bend the head. Good. Don't move. Again. Bra. And stand still, and you will get treats. Good. And with her also, the owner asked me to practice a little bit lifting her legs. So we have been practicing that as well. And she's a little bit the same here, a little bit lazy sometimes when I'm tapping her hoof. So I'm just holding the hoof a little bit and kind of making some noise just to make sure that she's okay. And then the hind leg. Good. And the hind leg, I'm kind of putting on my thigh and stroking it a little bit, tapping it. Good. And after I have done 2 hoofs, I will give her the treats. Good. And then the same on this side. Checking that she will bend, really good. And this is really important for her to understand the meaning of the rein. If you pull one rein, she needs to understand what the rein means, you know? It's also for the safety of the rider, to have control of the horse's head. Then we're gonna lift this leg, good. Tap it a little bit. And then the other hind leg. Really good. Really good with lifting the hoof today. Sometimes I feel like she's a little bit stubborn with this. Like she's a little bit slow. Nah, nah, nah. You can't scratch when I'm holding the leg. Like when I ask her to lift, it can take some time. She will just stand there and put pressure on the hoof, and I have to tap it several times before she actually lifts the hoof up. But today was a little bit better. Good. Okay, the last thing I do from the ground is checking that she can back up really good with the head down. There is no point asking the horse to back up with the head up. So I'm just going to turn her body a little bit so we have some space. And I'm very gently with 2 fingers holding the halter and she needs to back up with the head down. Really light and nice. Good. Really good. All right, so then we are ready to get on the horse. Yes, so I'm gonna make my reins. And that's the great thing with using a rope halter. It's like, it's very easy to go from groundwork to riding. You can use the same rope, you can use the same halter. With basic riding, you don't need anything else than a rope halter. The rope halter is the safest thing you can possibly ride with. But once I start to advance the horse a little more, beyond the basics, I like to use a bitless bridle. The only reason that I like to switch it up is because it's a little bit more pretty with the bitless bridle, and also it's a little bit more close. You can tell the rope halter is very loose. So if you want a little bit more specific communication, you can use a bitless bridle that will be a little bit more tight, so it's not so loose around the horse's face. Okay, then we have the reins. We're going to go to the mounting block and get on the horse. Here I felt her pulling a little bit. Yeah, there you go, there you go. And you know, one thing with young horses is that they can be a little bit childish, just like kids. You know, they're young. And I feel with her, she's kind of like a little kid in a giant body. After I get on the horse, I will give treats as well. Good. Bra. And it's not the first time I'm riding her, so she's done this a few times. But I always want the horse to feel good about me getting on their back. So the first thing I do, I get on and I'm just gonna sit here and pet her and give her treats and maybe go up and down a little bit. So I know that she's accustomed to me sitting on her and moving a little bit. Good. Good job. So I give her maybe at least 3 times treats. And then we start. Good. Also, if this was the first time, I would give her treats on both sides. So she's accustomed to see me from the right eye and from the left eye. So that's really important. Some horses, when you start riding them, they will be fine if they see you on one side, but if they suddenly turn and they see you on the opposite side, they can get scared. So just accustom the horse and give treats on both sides. Another thing I do when I start to ride the horse in the beginning is that I don't go too close to the wall. Now with her, I'm going a little bit closer because I have been riding her a little bit. But if it's the very first time, I'm riding a little bit away from the wall. And that is just because of the safety. If she were to spook or something would happen, I don't want to get thrown into the wall. I'd rather be out here in the open. Now let's see if she can pass this thing that she reacted to a little bit from the ground. Yeah, that's good. Good job. So when this is a horse I have for 4 weeks. That is the time I usually use on teaching a horse how to be ridden in walk, trot, and canter. And when like the process of this, or the things that I'm teaching the horse, is being able to steer the horse. So as I'm walking around, I'm just testing that I can steer her. Big circles, small circles. And I'm also adding in my leg cue. And she's actually really smart. Like this time, I steered her with only my leg, and she's really smart with this. So I feel like she's kind of a natural. She's really a fast learner. it makes sense to her, the cues. So then we're coming down here, and I'm gonna ask her to do a small circle, and I'm using my leg as well to steer. My leg in my seat, and my weight. And turn around, there you go. So I'm always trying to use the reins as little as possible. You know? I want her to kind of pay attention to my leg cue. Like here, she's pushing in, I'm blocking her a little bit with my inside leg. And then we can try to do another circle on this side. Steering her around. Good. And turning her out this way. So she's actually really good, I have to say. Really good. And then I'm going to turn down here. Really good. Pretty much my seat, you know? And she's a complete beginner. It's really cool. Oh, 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 oh. And I will see if I can stop her with my vocal cue, but now she didn't respond. So then I had to pull the rein. But I will give her some time to just pick up on my seat and my vocal cue. So once I ask her to move, I will take my legs close to her body, and when I'm stopping, I'm sitting like this, relaxed, legs out and away from the horse's body. So now I'm going to test if she can bend her neck from horseback as well. And the thing with her, she can be a little bit impatient standing still. That's the only thing. So here I'm going to ask her to bend. And don't go into the mounting block, please. There. It took her some time, so I'm going to ask her again. I'm just going to straighten the neck and ask her again. She moved. Neck. And that I will say is the only thing with her. She's very impatient with the standing still exercises. So I'm just going to move a little bit away from the mounting block. Oh, oh. Neck, stop. Bra. We are going backwards, apparently. And you know, when you start to train young horses, they are not going to be perfect horses. They will make mistakes. So you just have to try again. Oh. Bra. Do. Bra. Bend. Focus. Bra. Non, almost. And I mean, this is not her first time practicing this. Bra. But she's a little bit impatient. No. Don't go into the wall. So I'm just gonna keep asking her until she will just do it standing still. That's the thing. There you go, good. Bra. I know, bugs. Yeah, I know. Don't go into the wall. Don't go into the wall. No, 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 no. And it might also be because of all the bugs that she gets a bit frustrated. Yeah. Okay, we're going to try the other way. If you can stand still. Ah, I can see it. Here you go. Yeah, poor. It's okay. All right, and then we're going to try to bend the opposite side. And I feel also like when I'm brushing her and saddling her and she needs to stand still inside, she is a little bit impatient there as well. Bra, you did well, but you moved. You need to do the complete thing standing still. You move again. Bra. Bra. Ned. Ned. Bra. So patience is something she needs to work on a little bit. Maybe. Okay, then I'm going to see if she can back up a little bit. The mic went out, so we're gonna start now. Yeah. So she just recently started to learn how to trot. So she's not super used to it just yet. So we're just gonna try and see how it goes. But she's doing quite good, I think. She's understanding more and feeling more confident with the trot as well. I'm lifting my reins a little bit. And you can tell the lazy thing is kind of happening. So I'm trying to make her trot with just the vocal cue first and a little bit my legs, but I don't want to squeeze her way too much. So I'm just squeezing her a little bit and then using my vocal cue. If it's not enough, I'm going to start to wave the rope. Yeah, you need to do a little bit more. So right now, the goal is to kind of get her to keep the trot a little bit more. Good. And I'm trotting a little bit away from the wall still. Good. And I'm trying to just trot on loose reins. And we will try to change direction. Oh, bra. Good. So it took her some time to just get into the trot, but once she came into it, it went really well. Good. And one thing that's important as well is that I don't want to trot way too long in the beginning, you know? Oh, these bugs, they are driving me crazy. And they are biting as well. Yeah, I know. They're stupid. because you want to keep the motivation. So if I ask her to trot, 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 she's going to be like, ugh, you know? If it's only a little bit, she's going to be okay. It's not too bad. Good job. Good job. And lots of treats. Good. And right now I feel like she's a little bit more relaxed, maybe. We will see. But now might be a good time to see if I can bend the head. Good. She was already bending a little bit because she wanted treats. But she stood still. That's good. And we can try in the other way. Will you stand still? Can you bend? Yes, good girl. Stop, stop, stop. Yeah. Good. A lot better. Good, good, good. And also, when I start the horses, I don't want to ride them too long in the beginning. So we're just going to walk a little bit, trot a little bit, and she is finished. Good. I want to just see if she can go into the trot a little bit faster without me needing to spend so much time, you know, with the cue. I want to see if she can just go into the trot a little bit more fast. And in the meantime, we can just practice the walking a little bit. And maybe do a little circle. Really good. Can turn back this way. And also one nice thing to do, like if you have a horse that is relaxed and pretty confident like this horse, you can surprise the horse and just all the time ask the horse to move a different way. Like it's a little bit random. So I can just turn here and just pretty much turn her wherever I feel like. If you have a more scared type of horse with maybe trust issues and stuff like that, it's better to make a routine and practice exactly the same every day, because that will make the horse feel a little bit more relaxed and confident if they know exactly what is going to happen. But this horse is really comfortable, you know? She's very confident, she's very relaxed. It's a very nice horse to work with. So I can just every day go out and pretty much do just whatever I want. If I want to turn down here, I can turn down here. We don't need a routine. It's better with almost the opposite, to keep her more like excited and surprise her a little bit with what we're going to do, to keep her a little bit more interested. Because if you're doing the same over and over again with this horse, she's going to get bored, you know? It's a different type of horse. So I'm going to see if she can go into a trot again. Lifting my reins. Good. Yawning. Okay, that's always a good sign. Okay. Yes. Better. Took a little time, but not too bad. And one thing with her, I feel like she's like a little bit almost like an Arab. No. Her head comes up quite a lot. And if I have time, I'm going to see if I can practice to lower her head a little bit when she's moving forward. Do you have a bug or something? I feel like they are everywhere. One down. Yeah, I know. Jesus. Yeah, we're gonna quit soon. We are attacked. Okay, let's try the last time. There you go. Yeah, so if I have time, I will practice to lower her head a little bit as well. Because as you can see, her head is coming a little bit up. It's not ideal. If she's running around too much in this position, she's gonna get pain in the back eventually. But of course now she's a complete beginner. It's not my main concern. We're just gonna, I feel like the trot is going very well, so we're just gonna have to practice the canter, and if she's doing that very well as well, and we have time, we're gonna practice to lower the head as well. Practice a little bit like introduce the collection and stuff like that. But she's doing a really good job. I feel really good with her. She's got good energy. Oh. Good job. Good. So she's doing really well. She's a great horse. Really great horse. All right. That's it for today. I'm gonna get her in the stable. Away from the bugs. Yeah. Good job. Good job.